Happy Valentine's Day to my fellow Snyder fans and welcome. Tonight we're going to talk about Silver Banshee, including Jimmy Olsen, that fiasco from Batman versus Superman that got everyone upset when they killed him off, and the solution and to how we can still proceed with the Snyderverse and not let that letdown hold everyone else back from giving Zack another chance. Because that's another barrier we've got to fight through to restore the Snyderverse. And no, we're not. It does not involve bringing people back from the dead the way they were. It's how you would respond to. It's how you would respond to something. A response, a certain reaction, the kind of reaction that you would get out of something or someone in case something shocking or disheartening happens. Yeah. And I took the liberty to order this off of Amazon because I've been searching almost every comic store within my range and vicinity to show you guys on how we can still move on with the Snyderverse with or without Jimmy Olsen alive, of course. And hopefully, if it's true that Patty Jenkins' claim that Joss Whedon's movie was not canon to the Snyderverse, then I'm hoping she's right on Shazam and other films that came before it. Because we really do not want the Snyderverse to be forsaken out of ego and negligence and hubris, which is precisely the problem with Hollywood. And not just this great reset on these big investment firms who have so much control. Now, I'm going to go read it through this thing to show you how Silver Banshee can be featured along with Brainiac in the long overdue sequel to Man of Steel, which would also feature Superman and Supergirl teaming up for the first time in a live action movie. Now, I'm going to look. Now, I understand that some of us are not fans of who's currently running DC Comics and as well as the artist, but for once they managed to give us a good example, even if it's related to what we've seen out of Tombstone and Quentin Beck Mysterio from Spider-Man 2 PS5. Man. First, I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a scene of Superman battling Parasite. Sorry. This is a book that features Superman having his own corporation called Supercorp, which is kind of far from where we are in the cinematic universe to even bother going. Here we are. This is the entry page to one of the issues I was trying to find. And here we go. Silver Banshee lurking above Superman in this picture, which is what I'm here to discuss tonight. Wow. Oh, wait. Did I just move past the thing here? Just gotta make sure that I didn't. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on. Oh, she starts off right down here. Oh, and in this Dawn of DC version that just came out last year, Silver Banshee in this universe is said to be a test subject to one of Lex Luthor's minions, who has kryptonite, wields claws with different kryptonite shards, which I find quite interesting. And now, here we are, starting off. Here's Siobhan Smythe, the alter ego of Silver Banshee. Looking to get up to start the morning for something. And here she is. Confronted by this guy called Dr. Farmhand, which is kind of weird. And if you see her transforming into Silver Banshee, you'll see that these new artists at DC seem to have found another stereotype to manage to, quote unquote, make appropriate. And over here, you have this. You've got this doctor. You got Doctor Long-Haired Claw, or Doctor Claw, I should say, Cryptoclaw, I should say, using this thing to suppress Banshee's abilities. If you can look closely at this picture I have, where her abilities are being suppressed easily by this guy, and she gets captured. Wow. Tortured, and then gets brainwashed by this guy. Yeah. Here she was one of her test subjects. And this villain is seeking to use her as a weapon against Superman, which is quite sadistic and cruel. Just like what you see out of Scarecrow from Batman Arkham Knight. Wow. Jeez. These guys with these pill heads. Oh my God. Wow. Now that is weird. Pill capsule heads. Wow. I can see why some people are starting to lose. Oh my God. I kind of find it laughable. Now, anyway. Well, alright. Look at this. As we keep moving through. Well. Yeah, this comic might feature some elements you would see from out of Spider-Man 2, PS5, regarding second chances for some of the villains. Yes. Ah. Who might this be? Who is he? And here we go. There she is, Silver Banshee, confronting Superman against her own free will. Wow. I mean, take a look. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're not gonna feel even though her new stereotypes will help her bypass the censorship online. I on the other hand, do very much doubt they'll include the scene of her screaming and letting projectiles, ghosts out at Superman. That I'm doubtful about, but the new stereotypes of her and her abilities, I'm sure they'll consider it. Man. Huh, wow. Fights get wild. Oh my goodness. Wow. I gotta wonder though, are we missing some scenes? Because I'm sure I recalled noticing. Oh, there we go. Oh, all right. Wow. All right, there we go. Next page shows it. Man. Wow. Sorry about the way I have my phone here, pal. There's you see her confronting Superman. And here on this next page, guess what happens here? Over here. And here, Superman counters with his heat vision. And here we go. Here we are. Here's where I'm getting at. That could be helpful. And here it is. Yeah, I know it's embarrassing. Even for some of us Snyder fans. But hey, I'm sure those of you who are looking to fight back against this narrative that people have that reveal their complete dislikes about Snyder and his vision, I'm sure this scene would be part of the solution to counter the problem and the narrative that gun fans are put in his, and people that are enabling him and Warner Brothers are putting out. Yeah, I know, but hey, even before the current artist brought us this kind of modern take on the characters, I have already showed you that I've read this book to understand the nature of previous versions, especially McDougal. And to understand what kind of humanity they have left in them. Yeah. Now we go to the next page, which is number 5. Yeah. And here it shows a backstory of Siobhan Smythe and how she and Jimmy Olsen met and became lovers. Yeah, I know, it's kind of awkward, but you'll see where I'm getting at. Now, I might have to be careful when posting stuff like this on YouTube because I'm aware of algorithms. Well, mainly that of what thumbnails I use, to be honest. Now, here you have the Jimmy Olsen and Siobhan at a restaurant having a romantic moment. And now, take a look at this bottom part here that he knew of, showing how it is that he knows of her supernatural life form. Yeah. Yep. Here Jimmy was discussing about the idea of buying and adopting a turtle, and she asks, "Turtle?" Yeah. Look at that. Now. Yeah. And here are flashbacks of what we already seen from the recent issue of this era of comics. Man. And there they are. Jimmy Olsen trying to help endure. Man, look at her. Man, she's so... Yeah, I know it's embarrassing, but hey, we see that she's trying to... is struggling. And he gets back to fighting Superman again. All because he is under the possession and influence of this evil Dr. Claw. Of course, Jimmy Olsen doesn't give up. He keeps fighting to help Superman save her from the influence of the evil Doctor. And how does Superman put a stop to it? This scene right here. Removing those ghosts off her. And of course, bringing her back to normal. This thing... Superman is some sort of hypersonic repressor. Yeah. See, whatever this thing is, I'm sure we'll find out. I'll have to look at it soon enough, but whatever it was, it has to do something to do with Kryptonians. But however it is, now, sorry, I was just looking at the comics at the moment, but whatever this... Interesting. Sit. Test subject. It's kind of awkward, but who knows? But here we go. Here we are. Siobhan, after being cured, now reunited with Jimmy Olsen. Ha ha ha. Quite interesting. Heck, maybe for the next Superman series he should consider adding Siobhan as one of the main cast members alongside the trio. But who knows? And here she is doing the rock concert thing. And as for the thing that was used to stop her, that's called a hypersonic repressor. Huh. I can't even understand whether or not they altered her stereotypes. But I'm pretty sure that if we ain't getting the answer, so far I can see some flaws in how awkward the execution is, but I wonder though, does she have those? I'm confused though. Well, either way, make, they may have to realign her supernatural stereotypes with that of Kryptonian. Because, really, some of it does seem out of place, but still I like the idea. Whether it should be done by a bunch of entities that are found from the... now, I found some interesting ways of how to adapt Silver Banshee to it, how Snyder can adapt Silver Banshee into his universe. But now, after going through these pages, it kind of leaves me awkwardly confused. It kind of leaves me confused. Yeah, still don't know how they... Yeah, there's still... I like to see... What would help is if they could give me more details on whether or not she has the same stereotypes. Because that I don't know. Wait a minute. Huh. I think I found some hints right here at this bottom page. Hang on. Let me get this light. Alright. Whatever these things are right here. I'm sure they're crawling on Superman. Well, it's hard to tell if they're actual human spirits or something that of alien from another world. But I'm sure Zach will have to look into finding some ways. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've really got to be more careful. Still, I'm sure we can find ways to help these stereotypes overcome this. I'm sure that we will find a way to help her stereotypes break through the censorship, as I am confident with Brainiac. Now, from what I can see from this thing here, kind of feels like this is more than just 5. It's like there's a actual total of 6. Yeah. Oh, and there's another interesting thing. Lois Lane being the CEO of the Daily Planet, as I read. Man, which they do find interesting. Yeah, despite what some of these people say. Wow, my God. Take a look. Yeah, I can see they really had to go on and add this diverse cast. Still, I find it useful to make sure that DEI and ESG don't get in the way. Yeah. See these 6 people. Yeah. 2 I'm not so familiar with. But here, with Ron Turp and Ron Tropp and Jimmy Olsen, I know. Huh. Very good. Wow. Just... Man. Jeez. Come on, look who it is. Steve, at least they got Steve Lombard. Two redhead guys. Wow. Yeah, this one cracked me up. Very boxing everyone around. Now, don't get started. This is just a comic. Yeah, some of it seems completely awkward in the sixth part, but hey. Yeah. What the heck? Oh. Shade of Black was meant to... Ah, and here we go. Another page showing Siobhan with Jimmy. Yep. That should help. Now, also, and thankfully, a great and surprising and relieving way to end it. The story with this book I've ordered. The villain we want WB to stop holding back and start to deliver onto the big screen for us to see in live action. Brainiac. Yep. Glad he's still there. Yeah. Man, they say there was only about 5 issues of this Dawn of the DC Volume 6 of Superman, but issue 6. But here, Brainiac. Yep. I still want to see a live-action Superman movie with Brainiac in it. And I will not tolerate the idea of WB and Disney and other shareholder elites continuously and relentlessly holding him down from showing up in a live-action film ever. It's been 40 years, and we are not going to tolerate any more cat and mouse holdbacks. Yeah. Brainiac's still way too good a villain to be kept in the dark and out of the light for too long. He needs to come out. Now, man, as we continue here, and if Zack were to adapt Silver Banshee in a live-action film, not only would he change her supernatural stereotypes from that of Earth human-based to Kryptonian-based to help support this new version of her being easily affected by kryptonite, but also they are gonna need to, so much like this comic with this popular comic that needs to be given a live adaptation, a live action movie version of an adaptation. They're going to need to look through the source material to help them construct ideas on how to do the character in a live action film. And they are to have Supergirl in it too, because I like to see them both go head to head with each other as much as I like to see Superman and Brainiac go head to head with each other in a live action movie. Man, a lot of time has passed. And here in this one, well, I'm sure you'll know. Anyway, my point is, if you all were all anguished from what you saw from Batman v Superman with Jimmy Olsen being killed off. You won't need to worry about searching for a counter argument anymore. Because now, thanks to these artists over in LA, they've given us an idea. They just gave us an idea on how to. Wait. Hang on. They just gave us an idea on how we can overcome that loss in a film and not let that story and a certain event go to waste over people's fond of characters who've been around for so long. We can't always hold on to everything. Sometimes we have to let go for once and move forward in the actual direction, and certainly not in the direction where Gunn and Zaslav are headed with Superman Legacy, because that's just going backwards. We definitely gotta move away from Richard Donner's legacy, because his legacy was destroyed when WB rejected Brainiac from being the villain of Superman 3. All because those businessmen were too evil and corporate-minded to give a crap. We do need to restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, and Zach is probably right. We do need to get it over to Netflix, but first we gotta make sure Disney doesn't get a hold of DC and Warner Brothers. It will be a tough task, given how ESG scores are used to appease BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street into using them into just granting them the Disney Corporation loans, billions of dollars in loans for stuff like acquisition into Fortnite. Yeah, we definitely gotta put a stop to those three firms, and maybe even the same with others like with Morgan Stanley as well, as anyone else that is looking to vote in favor of keeping Iger and all his pawns in power without having a single one of them voted out. Anyway, hashtag restore the Snyderverse, hashtag make Man of Steel 2, hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix, hashtag full circle, and hashtag make Justice League Part 2 and 3. And yes, do be careful out there, everyone. There's a lot of unexpected surprises that we are expecting to happen. Some I might expect, some I might not. Now be careful. It is important that we always use the source material to help with movies, because without the comics, aka the source material to help people out with creative ideas for stories, as well as less censorship, and without less censorship, Hollywood is in the graveyard for sure come 2030 or 2035 for all I care. All because of how stubborn these corporate hacks really are. Anyway, make sure you look up each of these comics online with these issues to help read, and so you can get a creative look at how these characters can actually work in a live action film. They're long overdue to appear in. And make sure you get the new comics too, in case you are having trouble finding them. Well, I have to go. It's been more than 30 minutes of video chat. Take care.